Thanks for joining us. It's Release to Results, and we are going through the Course in Miracles workbook, letting go all along the way of all this negative, stuck energy that is obscuring the truth of what we are and the truth of some of these ideas that are presented. There can be great resistance to the ideas presented, and today's lesson might bring up some of that. So, first off, it's okay to try and like push down or push away this negative energy and this resistance. Just keeps it stuck. What we resist persists. What letting go is allowing ourselves just to acknowledge some of this stuff coming up and let it be there and let it go. Let it go. Allow this energy to go. And it will be taken. It will lift. Sometimes it takes a minute or a few seconds. Sometimes it might take hours. And the idea is there's no rush, because what we're looking at today, what is valuable belongs to me. What is transitory doesn't even exist. It has no value. And all of these negative emotions, all of this resistance is transitory. The question is, how willing are we to allow it to transit, to pass, and discover that it's not even there? So one of the ideas we're looking at is I will not value what is valueless. And how can you tell something that's valuable or valueless? Well, it's either going to be around for the long run, for eternity, or it's temporary. And what it says in the lesson 133, where I will not value what is valueless, is it's not an attempt to like talk you out of the enjoying the transitory things. It's saying there's so much more. What you're valuing here in its limited transitory context it's really nothing in comparison to what's really there. And later on in another lesson, it says there's one choice: to choose heaven, what's actually real, what's actually valuable. So we'll just look at some of these values that we've been holding. And wait, is there more? Is there something even greater than this that will continue on and actually be there in the long run? Or is this just something temporary? Therefore, I might enjoy it, love it, accept it right now, and knowing that what I'm perceiving as valuable is something that is just going to pass by. Then we're also going to look at forgiveness. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. So as long as I'm believing sin is real, I'm not really understanding forgiveness. I'm not really perceiving it. The idea of forgiveness is to completely release the holding the world, myself, and other people, binding them in sin, binding myself in sin by saying it's real. We've had many a lesson on this, that sin doesn't exist. But no, they really did something wrong. I really did something awful there. Okay, you're welcome to hold that. Notice what that feels like. Could you let go of sin and putting it on yourself and other people and perceive forgiveness as it really is? And all of these review lessons are holding these ideas with God. My mind holds only what I think with God. And opening to the thoughts we think with God, and letting go of all the thoughts we've developed and adopted from a worldly perspective, doing what we thought we were supposed to do, ideas we adopted in our innocence, to come to holding things in mind, only what we think with God. We're thinking all these thoughts with God, though there's some that are true. And that's these ideas, that's what is being put in our minds, what we're allowing to come through our minds as we go through this workbook. So we're doing the Course in Miracles. We're letting go because we've been holding on to some things that are not serviceable in eternity. They're not going to be there. When we let go of them, when we finish the course, when we allow these ideas to come true, to see the truth in them, to be the truth in them, then we've graduated. Until then, there's plenty to let go of. There's plenty of false ideas to have transformed in a recontextualization, a new perspective, in a miracle. So let's allow that to happen for us today, if you will. You never have to. And let's begin. My mind holds only what I think with God. I will not value what is valueless. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. So, has it seemed valuable to believe in sin? Is there anyone that is unforgivable that really did something sinful? Or yourself, perhaps? Something that where sin seems real? Let me perceive forgiveness as it is, the complete abandonment of belief in sin. Could you allow what it feels like to be believing sin is real somewhere? Not pretending. If it's really not there, that's great. But if it really seems like there's some kind of sin or wrong or more than just a mistake that somebody has made, just a mistake, but some kind of sin. If that seems real, could you notice how it feels, whether it's about somebody else or you? And could you ignore the thoughts about what the sin might have been and just notice how it feels to be missing forgiveness that's there by holding on to this feeling of sin? And could you allow that energy to move, that darkness to come to light just by acknowledging it? Whoops, been carrying this. That's it. Nothing serious, nothing unforgivable, just a mistake. Could you notice how it feels? If there's any belief or valuing the concept of sin. And could you let that go? You don't have to. It's just a choice. Would you let go of valuing or believing in sin and what that feels like? When could you let go of this energy, this darkness? Let it be enlightened. It takes what it takes. My mind holds only what I think with God. I will not value what is valueless. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. And does it still seem like there's some kind of real sin that you or someone else has committed, as if that exists? Has there been any valuing, attempting to keep somebody, yourself or someone else, in hell or send them there? And without beating yourself up further, could you just notice how that feels without judging it, condemning it, moralizing about it? Just notice behind the thoughts or belief or valuing of sin and hell, could you allow that energy to come up? Just ignoring the thoughts. And could you begin releasing that energy, lightening it up, shining in that darkness, just letting it be there? It can't touch you. It's not even real. Could you allow that energy, that darkness to be lightened? Just noticing it, sitting with it. And could you let go of that feeling, that darkness, and perceive forgiveness as it is? Sin isn't real. Would you let go of the belief in sin and valuing that and perceive forgiveness? When could you let go of the fantasy of sending somebody to hell or yourself, of sin? When could you let go and perceive forgiveness as it is? True forgiveness, the alleviation of the belief, the valuing sin. My mind holds only what I think with God, and I will not value what is valueless. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. So just like a belief in something that's not even true, not even real, there's a great many things that I may have valued that are just passing away. And in focusing on them and valuing them, it's not that they're, bad. I could enjoy something temporarily, though maybe I'm missing something more. Maybe there's something really valuable that already belongs to me, that valuing this thing that's here today, gone tomorrow, is just having me miss what's actually already here for me. So, what's something that's here today, gone tomorrow? Could be a body, a relationship, money. Not saying any of these things are bad. But where has there been this emphasis on the value of something transitory? And can you notice any binding, any holding on to that small thing, thereby missing what is already there for you? Something greater. And could you let go of that bind, that block? Would you let go of valuing that which is a mere blip to perceive the true value that's always been here for you and always will be? When could you let go of being focused on something so small so you can see what's so great and already here for you? My mind holds only what I think with God. I will not value what is valueless. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. So, being caught up with some worldly, temporary, transitory phenomena, it's okay. We all do it. Otherwise, why would we be here? Letting go, doing the Course in Miracles. You just notice some small thing that is sure to pass away, which has been of great focus for you. You've been putting a lot of value on how the weather is, what somebody said, a body or financial or relationship situation. Not to make wrong of any of these things, just noticing that, focusing and valuing that a little bit more than what's really available. And without judging or moralizing about it, could you simply notice that feeling, that bind to some small thing? Looking here instead of here. And could you let go of the overvaluation of something transitory, temporary, and see the value of what's already here for you, already belongs to you? Would you let go of the narrow focus, the fixation on something transitory and temporary, that phenomena, and allow yourself to have what you really have? When could you let go of valuing what is valueless in the long run, temporary, to have the eternal? My mind holds only what I think with God. I will not value what is valueless. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. And now just coming to being as best you can, to hear the voice of the Holy Spirit, God, the Christ. God, what is valuable? Holy Spirit, what is valuable? Christ, what is truly valuable? Open, listening. What does he say? My mind holds only what I think with God, and I will listen. And God, Holy Spirit, Christ, let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Will you grant me that perception now? What is already there for me? Let me perceive forgiveness as it really is. What does God say? The Holy Spirit, the Christ, about the truth of forgiveness. My mind holds only what I think with God, and all that is valuable is already here for me. God, Holy Spirit, Christ, what need I not value any longer? And what is really there? What does he say? My mind holds only what I think with God. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. God, Holy Spirit, Christ, is there anywhere I could perceive forgiveness now as it is? What does he say? My mind holds only what I think with God. Let me not value what is valueless. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. And let me release all illusion that I may be in the truth. It's all that's there anyway. Thank you for releasing this morning. Enjoy this day with God.